Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? Hope all is well with you. I've created a bunch of animals here with our clients that when the markets fall, we want to focus on conversions. And while that is true, you guys are going crazy. So I want to talk about how much you should convert to a Roth, right? Just because you can doesn't mean you should, although it tends to be a good thing to do for most of us. But it's not always the best thing. And here's the reason why I bring this up. What's the benefit to you converting to a Roth? Now, a lot of you are watching going, well, of course, tax-free dollars. But what if I could show you that those tax-free dollars are not spendable in your lifetime? Would you still do it? Maybe some of you say, oh, no, I would leave the money to my kids anyways, or family, or a charity, or whatever. So yeah, I'd still do it. Some of you would say, oh, well, there's no benefit at all? Well, how do I know that? And maybe I don't want to do that conversion. So let's take a look today. We're going to talk about this. Now, I'm going to use my example here, Mr. Louis Armstrong with his wife, Lucille. These are our sample clients here. And so we don't have to go over all the details of who they are and what they are. I want to focus on the conversions. So really simply, if you've never seen this before, this is NestEgg, one of our the software we use for financial planning, and we let all our clients dive in and stuff. Like to work kind of hand in hand with them. Yada yada, sales pitch, get excited. So here is Mr. Louis Armstrong's taxable income brackets, right, through the rest of his life. So currently he's 52, and as we go through life, he starts to peel off a little bit in his early retirement. These RMDs kick in right around here, and for the rest of his life, him and Lucille have a tax bracket that's increasing because their RMDs would be, technically in this case, they'd be more because they have higher account values. All right, so let's say Louis comes to me and says, well, I'd like to do some converting. Well, the first thing you want to do to understand how much to convert is we usually look at a tax bracket. And we just illustrated them here for you, where we're showing the 10% bracket, what is the 12 and will be the 15% bracket, 22, 25. That's after the Trump tax credits go away, and so on and so on. So we know that their tax bill's going up over time. We could do all the geeky stuff. I've done lots of videos on this if you really want to geek out with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, let's just say, well, we can't do too many conversions now, but look at this. We could fill this area up, and then we could fill this area up, and then just stop, right? So there's a period of time where we could convert, in this case, up to the green line, which is the 12% tax bracket. So you can see it kind of highlighted there. So I'm just going to very generally, this is overly simplistic, but I'm just very generally going to say, what does that look like? Well, if we start those conversions to fill up those brackets there, notice how we're now in the green shaded area, we're filling it up, we end up with 208,000 more. I'm going to go over here and just change this so we're focused on his current plan. It's going to change the number a little bit. There you go. So it's actually 283,000 relative to the plan that we'd made. So this entire plan is focused over here. So if you're not familiar with it, you put your family in there, expenses, savings, income, goals, your whole net worth gets lined up there. And so that's how you get a look at your current plan. What we're doing is we're proposing a scenario against the current plan. So sorry for the sideway there, but just wanted to cover that. Okay, so without doing anything else, we can say, yeah, conversions mean you end up with more money. But will you be alive to spend that money over your lifetime? So this, you might have figured out, right? Conversions, it's you get it into a Roth, it has time to grow, and all that money is tax-free to hopefully offset the tax that you would have paid from doing the conversion, right? So we look at this and we say, okay, cool. On the surface, I could look like a hero. I moved one button. It looks like I'm the greatest advisor on the planet, but we don't do things that way here. We're very data-driven. So if we look a little bit deeper, I'm going to go in and look at what we call his cash flows every single year. So I'm going to go over here and look at the current plan's cash flow. And what I'm interested in is, at the end of a given year, do we have dollars available or are we drawing dollars? It's very normal while Louis is working to be drawing dollars and end his year, hopefully with a surplus, right? I said drawing dollars. It's very normal to end with a surplus and not be drawing dollars. So this should be how your finances go, right? At the end of the year, you still have a couple dollars in your pocket. And so that's the case. We're just simulating that they disappeared. We're not saving them anywhere. Then we get into retirement, and it's very normal to see, obviously, a reduction or a deficit. because you don't have any income. See over here, he's got no income. Well, we have to make up for a way to pay for the expenses and the taxes along the way, property tax, etc. And so we need to draw from his accounts. That's not a bad thing. A lot of clients look at that and go, oh, I'm short. Well, yeah, you don't have any income anymore, so that's okay. But look what happens as Lucille turns 72 and then Louis turns 72. We start running a surplus again, meaning that no matter how hard they try with all the goals and things they want to spend money on retirement, they still end up with more money. That's not a bad thing to have. That doesn't happen for everybody, but it does in their case because they were great savers apparently. Well, look at what we go all the way through to the end of their life. The only reason it gets to be more at the end of their life is they have a charitable goal, right, to spend some money. But otherwise, they would have a surplus. So they already have more money than they could spend. I hope this is you, right? And this is the life you're living here. But they already have more money than they could spend. So doing a conversion and saying, Louis and Lucille, you're going to end up with $283,000 more. You won't be alive to spend it, but you'll have it, and technically it's more money, and yeah, you didn't give the government some of the money, so it's a win, right? Well, maybe. We either have to go into the profile and say, well, where would you spend that money? You can afford to spend the money, because you don't hear that often, right? So if he doesn't, then there would have been no benefit to them as a family over their lifetime to doing the conversions. They would have been better off just paying the taxes, and that hurts to say so bad. I would still suggest the conversion, but I would start picking on them for, do you have any charities you care about? Do you have family? Do you have kids? Do you have people you want to leave the money to? Did your kids have kids and you want to set them up? Now we go into legacy planning. So be very careful, because there's going to be two types of viewers in this video. There's going to be those of you that have something you will leave money to, family, and whatever it is you want to do. And then there will be those of you that say, I don't have family. I don't really have a need to leave money. I don't know anybody, maybe some friends or whatever, but I don't need to leave them a lot of money. And so why convert if you personally won't see the extra money, right? Now, let me go back real quick. If you're leaving money to kids, a charity, etc., whatever you're doing, well, they have the RMDs on an IRA. So you could be grumpy and say, I'm not going to convert. I don't need the money. But keep in mind that those people that do inherit the money, they have a withdrawal period, and they will have potentially taxes on that withdrawal. So you may do that out of kindness or whatever. But if you fall into this camp, just realize this person does not need to do conversions. I'm still going to suggest it. We're still going to work on it. We're going to try to fine tune it a little bit more. You don't have to convert all the way up because you feel like a tax bracket's going to be higher or something in the future. Make sure you're not doing yourself a disservice by converting too much. And I never thought I'd have to say that, right? But there are scenarios where it doesn't make sense for you to convert too much. So just a quick one to show you that today. It doesn't happen a lot, but I know some of you are out there going, I'm going to convert. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm supposed to pay less taxes. I agree with you. But who's it benefiting? We want to make sure that somebody besides the government sees the benefit in your case. So short one, simple one here today. I hope that helps you think about things differently. That's all we're trying to do, is just think about things a little bit differently there. And we'll see you later on the closing beat, 5 o'clock. Every day we go over the stock market, talk about what happened on the day, give you some cool data to teach you something even more. And I hope you check us out at jazzwealth.com. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, you made it to the end. That's awesome. Well, if you want to check out more geeky stuff, be sure to check out that video over there. Also, if you could subscribe, that really help us out. We're financial advisors that love to teach, and you'll find all kinds of free stuff on our videos. And remember, keep your dough straight. Yeah, I did it. You did. That was